Good morning. Welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. I did not record every day this week because I have a lot of just different random things that needed doing, and it was super hot. Thankfully, the heat has broken, and today we get a very special delivery. I know the thumbnail and title has already kind of ruined the surprise, but they're not here yet, and I need to do a little bit of preparing, and then we'll talk about them when they get here. I'm trying to remember, I had an extra little gravity feeder that I want right there. Now I'm kind of scared to come in here. Levi told me there was a big wasp nest in this shed. I avoid coming out here. So you guys actually haven't seen this space very much. This is where I have stored hay in the past. This hay has some mold, so it's destined for the garden. But there's a big wasp nest up here, and what I want is that little feeder right there, and I'm hoping there's nothing in it. You never know, quite honestly. Especially when it's been a while that something's been sitting there. That looks pretty safe. Yeah, I think that'll do. This is technically a pig feeder, a piglet feeder. Once upon a time, we had like what I thought was going to be a mobile rabbit hutch, and it turns out the thing was just way too heavy, and we didn't have our tractor to pull it yet. And this was supposed to be a feeder for all my grow out rabbits, and what I'm going to use it for is I'm going to stick this in my kidding area in the barn so that I can feed the new girls some free choice alfalfa pellets. I could just use a bucket, but this kind of thing keeps them from wasting a lot of it, from standing in it. I like these, and I had it. I'm gonna set that there for now. I need to do just a tiny bit of work in the greenhouse. This is that Captain Jack's dead bug that I need to spray for potential thrips on some of my cauliflower plants. I'm actually gonna just spray this all over everything. It's been a while since I used this. It says kills caterpillars, codling moth, gypsy moth, bagworms, borers, beetles, Japanese beetles, loopers, all kinds of stuff, to include thrips. I think that's what I'm dealing with. Hey, sweet thing. Hey, baby girl. Good morning, baby. Good morning. I maybe should have gotten out here a little bit earlier to do this, but that's okay. My sprayer has been sitting out here in the heat, so the BT that I had in here is all probably dead. I'm just gonna leave it, and I'm gonna top it off. Ooh, look at the squash bugs. Okay. And what we're looking at here is this kind of damage. So this here sort of looks like it might be caterpillar. Oh, is that a baby caterpillar? I think so, right there. Oh, look, and then there's a harlequin bug right there. So we've got several different issues happening. This is the damage that I'm talking about. I think that when you get a little bit chewing through, but not all the way, it's like it makes a window in the plant leaf. I think that's thrips. So we've got a lot kind of going on with some of these plants. Not all of them are dealing with too much, but see. They do say it's best to spray your plants early in the morning or late in the evening. I intended to come out last night, but something distracted me, I don't know what. So sometimes a little less than ideal is better than never. Do you guys hear all that? It's like we live on a farm or something. Warden likes the sweet potatoes. That's good. Okay, I can't lollygag too much. I got stuff to do. Okay. Hi, girls. We're getting some new friends today. Oh, it's actually Melee's half sisters, most of them. And they're gonna be back here for a little while. Their water's gonna hang on this ring right here. I like to put the hay close to the water, so I think we'll put this on this wall. When I have kiddings going on in here, the heat lamp hangs in that corner. So I'm trying to keep all eventualities in mind. Not that this can't move, but still. Now this feeder has a little keyhole right here. Can you see that? So if I wanted to, I could just mark the holes, set the screws, and then put this down on it. If you have livestock, you understand where this can go wrong very fast. They are going to scratch their heads, their backs, all of their parts on this. So when they go underneath of it, they're gonna lift it up and the whole thing is gonna fall down. So it's gonna look stupid what I'm doing, because I could just do that, but trust me, this is going to work out better in the long run, because they're not gonna be able to just knock it off. It is pretty simple. It's just a little hard to get the drill down through there, but I just have some weather resistant screws and some washers and some helpers. I can't actually get the drill down in there very well, so I think I actually have to drill new holes a little bit higher up, so this will actually work better. There we go. Just like that. You guys are too much. Now I have this dusty, grimy bucket that I'd like to clean for them. That was probably a bad idea. It's a bad order of things. Come on, Goose. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. One thing I am working on right now that I haven't gotten a chance to really do in this part of the barn is I am working on sweeping out all of the cobwebs. The spiders came early this year. It was kind of crazy. I think it was 2 days ago. I was sweeping down the cobwebs in the milking area, and I did that right before milking. And as soon as I brought Tori up to the stand and locked her in, milked her, in that short like 10 minutes of time from having swept until I got done milking Tori, the spider had actually started to build a web between the wall and my milking stand already. So they've been crazy this year, and then when you've got dust and rabbit hair and things like that on top of it, it can start to look pretty cruddy pretty fast. It probably would have been smart to set this up after sweeping, but I think I'm at least gonna get this wall swept off. this point. It's been a couple of days. There was a delay with the delivery of the goats. There was a weather delay. There was a traffic delay, but they just came in last night, right before a great big storm. Close to us, there was some 100-mile-an-hour winds, which is absolutely insane, and apparently a small earthquake. Crazy. But all is well here, and the new girls are settling in, so let's go meet them finally. How are you all? Yeah, so you getting to know your new friends? Hello. These girls have hay. I gave them hay yesterday because it was raining. Excuse me. Oh, hello. Hi, sweet thing. No, that's a camera. We don't touch it. Okay? Well, here they are. 4 new bottle baby Lamanchas. I think they were born in January at my mentor's farm. You guys remember I had some goats, some standards that I sent back to my mentor last year, Elsa and Clover. And the reason that I sent them back was that they were just a little bit too much goat for me. Both of them were standard Lamanchas, and I find the standards to be a lot harder to care for, especially when they are high production animals just bred and designed to produce and produce and produce. I don't need a ton of milk here, and some goats, they are just bred to really put it out, and I was having a hard time keeping condition on both of those girls. Come here, sweet girl. Hey, we're talking about you. Anyway, I did keep some kids out of both of those does, some mini Lamanchas, and those mini kids have maintained their condition well. It seems like there's something with that hybrid that is just easier for me to deal with. So if I had any regrets for getting rid of any goats, I would say Elsa is the tippy top to that regret list, and I never would have gotten rid of her ever if I felt like I had the best things to offer her here. Now that we're feeding a lot more alfalfa, I feel like I could maybe maintain a goat like that a little bit better now than previously, but we have 3 of Elsa's daughters right here, and I do have one out in my main herd. So if you guys are familiar with Melee, she is out of Elsa, Ruckus is out of Elsa, and so are these 3 Chamois does over here. It actually wasn't specifically in the plan to get these 4 girls. It's not like I was on any kind of wait list or anything, but their breeder used to live about an hour from me, and she moved away. She lives in Maryland now. Look at her face. Are you a sweetie? Anyway, apparently mini Lamanchas are a hard sell in that area. People either want Nigis or they want standards. You're so cute. And these girls are very well bred. Their breeder does also eat goat meat, but she said, Heather, it's just really hard to eat potential. And I totally understand that. Because I wanted a little bit more Elsa here, and she needed to get rid of a few Elsa does, I happily paid for the transport. And they're here. I think you can actually see a couple of them are actually starting to put on a little bit of milk. None of them are bred, but they come from pretty dairy lines, which we talked about, and precocious udders can be a thing. So let's go over their names. They came registered with their names already, and I like to keep the goats' names because they do learn them. This here is Kiko. She has a cute little pink nose. Actually, her skin is pink. She's kind of got this red chamois looking color with the white stripes. She's this pretty chamois with what looks to me to be like a large moon spot on her side and a little white heart right in the middle of her back. Look at how cute she is. And then up here we've got another little heart. This one is actually not related to Elsa at all. All these does have the same sire, but this one has a different dam. She looks different, so you can kind of tell. She's not out of Elsa, she's out of a doe named Trixie. And Trixie, this spring, actually got pretty bad frostbite on her udder. She's healing well, which is really great, but this little doe comes out of her. She's got this big moon spot, and she has blue eyes and those elf ears. Hi, darling. This one here is Elegance, aka Ellie. She's the one that looks most like Melee, just like that classic chamois with a little splash of white. And then back here, belted chamois named Ivy. And Ivy is one that has a little bit of precocious udder going on. You didn't like that, did you? She has blue eyes and gopher ears. So we've got 2 with blue eyes and 2 with gopher ears. All of them gorgeous and with great personality. You like those alfalfa pellets? Yeah, they're pretty good. The second that we brought them in here, they went straight for the hay, straight for the water, straight for the alfalfa pellets. And they're gonna spend at least a couple days over here. This is my kidding area. The main barn is right through that gate, so they can touch nose to nose with my current herd. If anyone's concerned about that, I have a decently long relationship with this breeder, and I trust that she's not lying about her disease status of her animals. So our less than ideal quarantine situation is okay by me. I don't think I actually showed this yesterday when I was setting the space up, but I put a pan of loose mineral down here, and they've been going for that as well. You girls enjoying the buffet? You've got a little heart on your forehead. I think the only one without some kind of heart marking is Ivy here, but that's okay. I have not had a belted goat like this before, and that's pretty cool. So these 4 juniors plus the 4 juniors that I kept are not going to be bred this fall. I'm only breeding 7 does for spring kidding, and if you've been following the channel a little bit, you know that we have 3 does set to kid in about 2 months. Those 3 does that are about to kid have what I think is at least 3 kids each, so that's a lot. And these girls could stand to do just a little bit of growing so that they are a little bit more of an ideal size for breeding. All of them are about 70% Lamancha, so they're going to be on the larger side, which is true of a lot of my herd. Many of my goats are over 50% Lamancha. The only exception to that is Tori. These girls are all F1s. Their dam is a standard La Mancha, and their sire is a mini. So he carries Nigerian, but he's not 100% Nigerian, which is why each of them only ended up with 30% Nigerian. And even though they're a little bit lower on the Nigerian influence, that influence can matter a whole lot with parasite resistance and just overall hardiness. I find this combination to do really well for me here, and I'm really excited to have these new genetics, new-ish genetics. They are related to Ruckus, and they are kind of a little bit distantly related to Gale and Helicity. They all have a grandsire named Atlas in their lineage, who's a very beautiful goat, and so it's kind of a good one to have repeat genetics of, but they're beautiful. You're extra sweet. So with the addition of these 4, I now have 19 does going into winter. I do already have some culls mulling around in my mind of who's going to get replaced, who I'd like to keep kids out of. Our herd is not set in stone. We are still kind of developing our style, our preferences, and every time I keep back animals, I'm happier and happier with what we're producing. So we kind of have to do out with the old, in with the new. And so I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek on my potential culls for springtime. I'm not really going to be trying to sell anyone prior to fall breeding because I do need kids for the freezer. Excuse me, darlings. So we have Gale and Helicity down here. I don't plan on keeping both of them long term. I just kind of want to see how they do with their kiddings. Not that I'm really going to be selling either of these girls this year, but I know that eventually I will just have one of them. They said you left us in here. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Old girl Christine is retired. I'm having a little bit of a hard time keeping weight on her. Our vet is coming next month, and Christine is one of the main focuses. We're going to kind of discuss our options and what the vet thinks about her having the best retirement she can. After Margie kids, I'm pretty sure I'm going to retire her. I'm pretty sure Melee is on my cull list, especially since I now have a lot of her sisters. I've got the lines that I want with a lot more personality, and so she would be just a personality cull. She's a lot better than she once was, but I think I need a little bit better. Yes. Where did Shindy go? Oh, she's right behind Red. Excuse me, dear. Shindy down here, she's on my cull list, not because she's not a great goat, but I have Tizzy right here, who produces more milk, and she actually has a little bit of a better udder structure. I also still need to get a doe out of Tizzy. I haven't got one yet. I do have a doe out of Shindy, and this is our red girl. She's a massive improvement on her mama, so I think rather than keeping Shindy and retaining out of her, I'd rather keep improving this line and retain does out of red instead. And then, believe it or not, I think I'm going to add Tori to the for sale list for springtime. If that shocks you, it kind of shocked me when I realized that that probably needed to be the case. Tori is a very sweet goat. Last year was her first time kidding, and she had one doeling. This year was her second time kidding. She had twins. I had noticed last year when she kidded that when it came to milking her, and I taped her and started milking her once a day, she really didn't have the milk volume that I was looking for. We only milk once a day, and some does, when you don't milk twice a day, they tend to dry up. Most of mine do really well with once a day milking. When I had first started taping Tori and Frenzy, Tori gave me about a quart and I maybe got 2 cups out of Frenzy, and at this point it hasn't been very long, a couple of weeks. I'm getting almost a half gallon out of Frenzy and less than a cup out of our Tori girl. So not that Tori's not sweet, I just don't think she fits my program. Plus, as I mentioned before, she is on the smaller side, and my new buck Warden that I just bought, he's 90% Lamancha. So the kids that he's gonna throw are gonna be pretty big. She's had a kid out of Feral who's 70% Lamancha just fine. It's just another thing kind of stacked against her, but really the milk production and the lack of being able to be milked once a day is really the main thing. She's really a sweetie. I know you want to come out. I know you want to come out. Not today. Hi, baby. I would say the one that seems to be the most standoffish is Ellie. The most friendly right here is Kiko, and then Nixie, and then Ivy. But they are sweet girls. So I'm thinking about breeding these girls either in springtime with the use of cedars, or they'll wait until next fall. But I'm excited to see them freshen. And keeping these girls out of the freezer and freshening them also allows for their sire to kind of prove himself. There's not, as far as I know, these are the first kids of their sire. And getting these girls proven, pictures of their udders, milkability of their udders really gives their breeder a lot of information. So it's all good. It's all good all around. The transporter that brought these girls to me said that they're developing a client list where these are going to be their preferred clients to transport for, and we get to get added to that list. So last year the transporter that I had been working with had to stop, but I have a new transporter now. Now they're not transporting again until springtime, but we will be able to utilize a transporter again to get our goats out to more of you guys. So that will be an option. I don't have a wait list going right now. I'm actually still kind of mulling over in my mind if I would rather just list the goats on the website or if I do want to open up a wait list. But just so you know, we will have some senior does and some kids for sale in springtime, and I do have transport options at this point. Look at that little heart. So cute. Do you like your new digs, ma'am? Yeah? Was it kind of a stressful ride? No, they were in a cushy trailer. But I'm sure they were kind of scared and not knowing what was going on. It took a couple days for them to get here. But you got here safe, and they're healthy. And they're beautiful. See her pink skin on her underside of her tail? The rest of them have that kind of gray skin, like on her nose. It's funny. Nixie, you taking a nap, girlfriend? Alrighty. So yeah, sorry about the shorter video this week, but I had a lot to kind of prepare for. A lot of cleanup to do around the farm, just piddly stuff, getting through the heat. But I figured this was gonna be an exciting one anyway, even if it's short. Don't tell the other ones, but I think Kiko's my favorite. She's just automatically such a sweet little lap goat. Don't tell them, but I think you're my favorite. Yeah. So that's that. We're gonna get the girls all settled in and acclimated with the big herd pretty soon. They are used to foraging some long forage, so I look forward to letting them out with the big herd, but we're just gonna let them kind of chill for a little while. What is this lift? You're so cute. She said there's all kinds of new smells over here. We'll let you out soon and we'll take a walk to the pond, okay? Anywho, let me know which one of these new girls is your favorite. I'll see you guys again soon.